Hello and welcome again. It still takes me a little time till I manage to set up the environment, but I'm learning, and I show you what I managed to do. I can't tweet. It always comes up with Twitter. So if you go to the my page and there's the about page, then there's this link. So I don't know if it's going to show me now the way it's streaming. I hope not. Anyway, there is this about page, and in the about page I added these logos and topics, and I started to describe what okay, so it's streaming me here back, which I don't want. Let me stop this now, because it will degrade the performance. So anyway, in the about books I found out that if I go to the about page, so there are this where is the link now? Okay, I can't find there should be, there's like links here. That was on the when I'm not interesting. So when I'm not streaming, there are these buttons here that allows you to go to the main page, the home page of my page, and to the about page, and now it's showing, even though the URL says subgraph, so it's like my home page, not /about. It still shows this part. I'm a little bit confused how Twitch shows things, but in any case, there are these panels that I could add. So I just clicked on this panel, and I don't know what are these yet. What are these various panel extensions? But here I just click on one of these. Okay, I only had one when I started. Clicked on S, and then I clicked on add the text or image panel, and then it opened one of these panels. And I could fill out just a title, edit an image. I don't have a place to link this image for now. Maybe I'll figure out something. And I can use Markdown just to type in some ideas, and I don't need this thing now. And there used to be, there was a button to remove it. Okay, see, this one has a button, this one doesn't. Maybe if I check then. Okay, so I picked that one, and then now I can remove it. Okay, whatever. Okay, because I don't really need that. So I added these panels, and in these panels I described what I'm planning to do in the next couple of days, couple of weeks. I'm still figuring out how to display it, so people will be able to know that I'm covering various topics. In this case now, short-term plan. I have a bunch of things to do with Perl, and a bunch of things to do with Python, and something with GitLab. So right now I'm going to do something about I guess Perl. I'm keep doing this test BDD cucumber module. I'm keep working on that one, trying to learn how to use this, and how to write descriptions, scenarios of how this project is used, and then I convert that into some slides. And if you were here in the previous video, so that we don't need that anymore, then if you visit my slides on the CodeMaven website, you'll see that I already added one slide that was covering the BDD, and I still need to, and that's part of what I'm going to do here now. Okay, so I hope that's going to be interesting. If you're around, please say hi, and in the chat, so I can see people who are here, and we can interact, and you can tell me, you can help me maybe, or ask questions the way you like. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is first of all, when I added this slide, so this is just in case you would wonder how to get here. So you go to the CodeMaven site, then something is slow again. Okay, so you go to the code me event slide, and then here on the top there is a menu, or in the hamburger you go to the slides. And because it's about Perl and testing, so it's in the test automation using Perl for now. Maybe I put everything in the Perl section only, and here it is BDD. Okay, so these are all the slides. The slides are available to all. And let me find that editor. Yes, it's here. Okay, so I don't need this one. This is actually funny. This is I was working on my sister's website, which is also some public repository, but I don't need that now. Yes, and here I was playing with some application in Dancer that I don't need either. I'm going to have an application doing this later on. So see work slides. This is where the slides are. So in case you are wondering, git remote -v. These are where my slides are. This is a public repository. Git status shows that I've committed everything. Okay, so just back to about the Dancer project. That you saw there for a second. So one of my plans is to have a Dancer project planned and recorded, a web application using Perl Dancer, and then add it to the Perl Dancer course that I have. But it's not the urgent part right now. I'm working on this TDD slides. So here I go into the Perl directory, and in there is this BDD, sorry, not TDD, okay, BDD file, bdd.md, where I have the example that you saw here in the slides. Okay, so this is the slide. Now, the idea here is that, so if you're a programmer, you would come from the direction, okay, let's say I have this application already, okay, and then how do I write a test for it? But with BDD, that's not the right approach. The right approach is to sit down with the business people, and then have this the features, start describing the features, and then once you describe one feature or more features, then create some code that can convert that into tests, and then from that, based on that, run write your application. So let's try to do this now with a calculator application. Okay, so basically when I created this yesterday, I thought at the end I thought that maybe the order is not right, because first I would like to show how the application works. But in reality, that's not the case. So that shouldn't be the case with BDD. Okay, so in this BDD, the idea would be that first we create the description. So let's try to do this with the calculator. Okay, so we go into the examples BDD directory, and here there was this basic, which actually should be called hello world, but let's call it a calculator. And there is this calculator example already, so that's gonna make it easier for me to implement. So I still don't remember the file structure here, but we can cheat and look at here. So inside the project directory, I need a directory called features. Okay, features, and then in the features directory I need a file called something feature, and then and also a directory called step definitions. So let's go with the basic feature. Okay, this is the feature. It's not a directory, it's a file. So this is going to be a basic feature for a calculator. I don't know if we need this something, but I can add this feature. Actually, let's remove. Okay, let's add it back. Okay, let's add a feature calculator. Okay, so let's try to figure out how calculator should work. And then this is the first scenario. Okay, and what do we have here? I just copy paste everything here. Actually, it was indented there. Okay, so scenario starting calculator. So now I'm thinking about do we have a calculator here? Let me look for some calculator. So there is this calculator. Okay, good. Here is a calculator. Okay, so this is like a GUI calculator, but let's try to imagine how we would describe this. Okay, so because I had no idea what the calculator looked like. So when we start the calculator, okay, maybe I make this window a little bit smaller. So we have some. Oh, where is it? I lost it. Okay, here is the calculator. Okay, so we would need to describe this calculator now, right? So when we start the calculator, we given I don't know, given nothing, given the calculator up. Okay, for now that's just the calculator up. When I mean nothing happens when, okay, so there's no when actually, I think. Then the display should be empty string, right? The display is the empty string. Okay, basically this is the code. And then the next thing that if I type in if I click on 5, okay, then the display shows 5. Okay, that's the starting calculator. Given the calculator up, when clicked on 5, then display is the string 5. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so let's comment this out and let's try to implement this. So before even getting to that point, well, maybe that's not the right direction. Maybe I should write a couple of more of these examples. So if I go on, clicked, I can comment it out and update everything. So scenario, that's not starting calculator. Input 1 digit. Okay, input more digits. Okay, input more digits. Okay, so now when I clicked on 5 and clicked on 2, okay, so what happens when I click on 2? Then the display should be 5 2. Okay, more digits. Okay, still okay. So what happens now if I click on plus? Okay, so then it should show the 5 2 plus. Okay, input more digits. And yes, so now I'm describing an actual application that's working, but because I don't have any good imagination of how to create a calculator application. But it's maybe also that, oh, the competitor has a calculator, so let's work through that, and as we see this application, let's describe that, and then we can implement our own version, maybe an improved version. So now what happens if I type in 5 2, and then how did it disappear? What did I do that it disappeared? I don't know. Maybe I just deleted it. Okay, so what happens if now I pressed plus, and what if now I press equal? Mulford expression. Okay, well, deal with it later. Not. I was just interested in what happens now. Okay, so what happens if I add 1, clicked 1, and now equal sign? Okay, so there is the two things here. So I don't know if I want to describe this part now. Maybe yes. Maybe it's a good idea. Okay, so input digits and operator. Okay, so clicked on and clicked on plus. Okay, then the display is 52 plus. Okay, that was the plus. Then I do the input first calculation. Okay, then clicked 52 plus and also clicked 1. Okay, and clicked on equal sign. Then the display should be 53. Okay, so this is the display, and this is let's call it the history, and the history is, and here I think I can type in 52 plus 1 equal to 53. Okay, I'm not sure about the syntax exactly how we're going to do this, but this is basically more or less what I saw. So if we go back to it was in the cpan directory, test something, examples, calculator, what was this? Features and basic feature. So it was given when, and here we had these we had multiple examples, more examples, and here we had just some free text. Okay, so just the free text was in triple quotes. I don't know if we need the triple quotes, but maybe we do. So let's for now add the triple quotes. Okay, and do we need this indentation? So the indentation started here at the indentation of the text as well. Okay, so this is the history. Now let's try to. I think I described a basic few steps with this calculator. So now the next thing that I need to do is hi, hello Gabor, hello Darren. I hate it. Okay, so nice to see you here. If you're still here, it takes me some time till I notice. I was too busy with this typing, so I'm glad that there is a visitor here. Usually, I mean, this is morning time for me, but I'm going to plan and this morning for Europe as well, more or less. Well, it's 11:20 already here, a.m., so it's not that morning, not that early. Okay. Yeah. So I posted it in the Perl group on Facebook and on LinkedIn as well. So I'm glad that you joined, and I plan to do it sometimes also in my evening hours. So I'm planning to do at 8 p.m. That should be 10 a.m. I think in California. Yeah, I don't know in advance either. You say that you don't know. I didn't know in advance. I didn't know in advance either that I'm going to do this. I'm reading about ideas from other people how to handle these live events. Some people say that I should stick to some schedule and like every week the same time. I'm probably going to do this, okay, but right now I just started this out, and I really love this, doing this and communicating with some people. Sometimes people even help me. That's really nice with my ideas. And it also forces me to concentrate on what I'm doing. So it's unlike when I'm... Oh, okay. I just noticed how it looks like. So I see that the output, my picture is just above it. Okay. So funny. Now I put it down so you can see the calculator. Yeah. Yeah, so the recording is there, but I think a huge value... I think there's much more value in people coming on live and seeing what I'm trying to do and giving me input. That's a huge value for them, I think, or I don't know. I mean, some people, of course, would prefer to watch the video when they have time and stop the video when they, I don't know, want to go and drink a coffee and not miss something, or just go back to something that was maybe unclear, or go forward if I'm going it slowly. So that has the advantage of the video, but and the live has the advantage of being able to interact like we do now, more or less. Okay, so so the thing is that that I'm probably going to have some. So I'm going to do a lot of these now. I think. As long as I feel okay, and especially if people get okay, so you say predictability. I need to have some time reading. Yes, so I'm just thinking about it, whether I would like to have a scheduled event, and probably I'm going to have something like a fixed time every week. But beyond that, I'm going to do a lot of them just randomly when I come up, or when I have time for it. Because what I'm planning to do is to work on all kind of these things that I need for my slides, I need for my courses, maybe sometimes stuff that I need to learn for a client. Like this one, for example, it started out because we started to work on with BDD at a client. And but what I'm doing right now is not specific for the client. I'm just learning the technology. And there is the other one, the GitLab thing that is on my About page that I would like to also do, which is also, I need it for the client specifically right now. So that's the trigger of doing it now. But it's also, it's open source, the whole thing, or it's open, what I'm doing. And then once I manage to learn that part, then I can show it at the client. So all these things I can do while being live. I streaming live, and I don't know if well, we'll see how it works out. So I saw that some people have like tens of thousands of followers on Twitch, doing all kind of interesting stuff. So anyway, that's the plan for now. And I'm glad that you joined. Okay, so and keep writing, and I try. In the meantime, I try to get back on this focus. So this is what I managed to write down as a description. Now let's try to run this. Okay, where is the slide? Okay. So this is how I run it. I run Firkin and then the pass to the file, or prove and then the thing. So let's do the Firkin thing. Firkin and just locally this directory, and it says basically, I think so. This is I still don't know how to get from Firkin an output that. I know what went wrong, because I know that this color says that something is wrong. I know now that the thing is that what's wrong is that it doesn't have a parser for this. I haven't implemented a parser yet, but I think Firkin should tell it. Okay. The other way to run this now and I don't know if even if I say the word or the name correctly, is to run the proof like this. Okay, proof and dot here too. And then of course it complains about all of these things. So it says the first song, no match for in given calculator. Okay, so this one tells me actually what is the first problem. Okay, that I haven't implemented the parser for it. So let me comment this out because I don't want all these error messages. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so now the first one still, but there's only one failure, so I'm going to do that. And if I run the other command, if I run this with strict mode, the same thing, okay? But I think in this time already we get an exit code, which non-zero, but without the strict, even that is 0. But that shouldn't be probably the way to run it anyway. So now the next thing I need to do is to implement the parser, which is in the step definitions file. There is some steps. Okay, I don't know the rules yet. For now, it seems the step definition and then a file. Maybe it needs to be code underscore steps. I don't know, but there's a Perl file. Maybe we can figure it out now. Okay, so mkdir features, and I forgot step definitions. Step definitions. So this is the directory, and then in the directory now, features, step definition, I need some steps.pl, okay, and how does it look like? I go and copy paste just some stuff. So there is the beginning of this, I need the test more part. Let me copy the whole thing for now, and then comment it out, okay? So this is what we need first. We need to load, we are going to need to load the module. Okay, but we don't have a module yet, so we don't do this for now. We need to parse the text first, okay, before we actually implement it. So given, what is the given? So now I need to see what is the given. Given the calculator up, okay, so there I don't have here anything. Given the calculator up, I don't see any point right now to what to do here. Okay, so I just want to make sure that this can be parsed. Okay, so now if I try to run this code again, oh, so it now, I see that this is green, so it managed to parse it because, well, I added the parser, and then the display is empty string. So we need a then clause here, and this says then, okay, and our text is then then display is maybe it should be then the display. I don't know. For now it's okay. Later on we can fix this. Okay, so we are matching this regular expression more or less. Display is. Now I don't really know if I should. So I noticed in the previous version that if I have, so now we are matching for a space here. So if the author of this is going to add another space here, then our environment is broken already. Okay, and I don't know if I can expect from. Okay, so maybe I understand it better now. So up till now I was thinking that this text is being written by the business people, but in reality probably not. In reality probably the idea is in BDD is that the business people together with the developers write this. So the idea that it's an English-like language. Okay, so it's much closer than the programming language that we are writing to English. So the business people can at least read this. Okay, so they won't be able to read a test written in Perl or Python or any other programming language. But if we convert it into this kind of text, then it needs to be readable to the business people or project managers or clients or doesn't really matter. So this should be in a plain and simple English on one hand. On the other hand, we as programmers are going to write this, okay, together. So we will be able to control these little things that we know that matter. For example, the number of spaces here. Of course, I could change the regex to match here any number of spaces. Yes, so what you are saying that the space is problematic, and this was basically my observation when in the previous video that I said, okay, that's breaking, but let me show you what's going on here, and then let's try to improve it. Okay, so this takes this is basically what it does. So it matches this regular expression, whatever comes here, and okay, this is not. I don't really like this regular expression. Probably I would prefer this regular expression here. Okay, because now I'm matching anything that's not a double quote. Earlier, so it's gonna be easier if I would like to add display is something maybe and something else there if I wanted. Okay, so display is it's a little bit more complex regular expression now. Whatever this pair of parentheses matches is in this C matches square bracket 0. I assign it to the expected, and then the test is checking whether the expected value is whatever we have in the result. For now, that we are going to assign somewhere here. Okay, but for now we don't have it. I just want to make sure that the parsing works. Okay, and it didn't. Then display is then. Okay, what did I break? Display is okay, because I have a plus here and I need a star. Okay, sure. Okay, so I just realized that it's an empty string, and then I had a plus here. Okay, I had even the simple one that didn't match, so I guess I understood that from that, and this is okay. Let me do this still a simple one first, make sure that it matches. Okay, this matches, and now I go to the more complex but more correct one. Then I say it's any character which is not a double quote, and it can be 0 or more of it, and then we match the first double quote, and it matches. Okay, and now I would like to see first of all things happening here. So I would like to see what wait a second, what if I run it with proof. If I run it with proof, then this is the output, and I would like now to say, oh well, this is an empty string, so I won't see much. I wanted to print with diag, but let's not do this. Okay, so I have this expectation now. So it says, given the calculator, we didn't do anything, so it's still. So what is the? So we call from the we need to call the calculator object. So the calculator object, and then get the display. And the display should be whatever is expected. But where do we get this calculator object? So it's not necessarily an object, but so what if this is an well, in object oriented it's going to be easier, but it could be also a module. So let's just have it as a module. So let's see that the calculator is a module and it has a function called display. Okay, so now first we need to have this calculator set up. So what is this calculator? And given the calculator up, this is what we have here. So here where we set this up, and this equals to does it work this way? Will it work? I'm not sure. Probably not. That's not gonna work, right? Even if I call the function. Okay, so what if I examples? Okay, so this is what I didn't like in the previous version. Here we are going to use the calculator module, and here we need to set the import path at inc. And in the previous example it was relative to the root, but it won't work now even if I change that path, because right now I went and seeded into the directory of the calculator. So I would like to have this use how do I do this, the relative thing? Code Maven, not, it's okay, slides, Perl, and this is not in this one. Okay, the table of contents, relative. Okay, so this is just how to, one of the ways I'm doing, tons of the ways to do this. This is one of the ways to do relative paths. So let me copy paste that one. So the path relative to where we are in the, so the actually application mkdir lib is going to be here next to, so now let me see, we have the same structure that we had, and in the lib directory is going to be the calculator module. So if this is the script, then it's one direct, is the parent, it's the one directory up, second directory up, and then two directory down. So files find bin going to directory up, and then the lib directory, and that's where we have, and then we use the calculator module. So now calculator.pm package calculator.pm use strict, use warnings, and one for now. So just we have a module, and let me go back to the code. I don't need this for now, and I don't need this one for now. Just want to make sure that the module can be loaded. Yeah, find bin. Yeah. So there are a couple of couple of ways to do this, and here in the slides I have two. There are way more ways to do this. This is just standard. The standard modules, so that's I don't need any external dependencies for now. Of course, I'm already using the test BDD cucumber, so probably half of cpan is already installed, or I don't know, a large part of it at least. So I could just use PassTiny, for example, that has a much nicer interface for this. and probably I might go over that, but for now it works. Okay, I hope. Okay, I don't know if it works. Okay, so step file. Okay, definition failed on load. Can't locate calculator. Okay, can't locate the calculator module. Surprising, right? Calculator. Okay, that maybe this one works. Okay, still can't find the calculator. Calculator in ink, but does it lib calculator? It looks correct. What is in the ink? Huh. Okay, bonus. Let's see this one. Perl my calculator minus E1. So it can't find it, obviously. But if I add minus lib, then it can find it. Okay, so if we manage to find it, the module, then it will be able to load it, because now this one-liner managed to find it. So apparently I didn't put it correctly. So what I do at this point, of course, is I just call die here on this one. Okay, and see what happens now. And it failed in all kind of interesting ways, but okay. So of course this wasn't correct, what I tried to do. So this is correct, what I'm trying to do, if the relative path thing, sorry, just a second. This is correct if we put it in the Perl script that's being executed. But this Perl script is not the one that is being executed. So the find bin in our case is not the directory of where this file is. So where is the current? So let's see if the current file is in the, if what is dollar, probably this is not good either. Now I'm going to show you that I don't remember this in Perl, but I remember it in Python. So this is the, oh wait, so where is this die? Okay, so it's pointing to the proof, where proof is installed on my system. Okay, that's $0. Okay, which is not what I'm interested. I'm interested in the current file. So how do I get the current file in Perl? I don't remember now. Oh, do you remember how to get the past the current file? In Python that would be _file_. Perl get name of current file. Maybe if I use the caller, but I'm not sure how do I get, if I or the package variable. I don't know how to get the file of the current file in, but that's not a one-liner. Okay, they are all talking about dollar. That's not what I'm looking for. So I don't know if my streaming slows down my internet so much. It would be strange. That's file base name. Yeah, so $0 is not good for us. And they all talk about $0. This one. So in Perl apparently is the same. Or almost the same yeah, so there is a delay, okay? I think there is like 10 or 20 seconds delay by the time you hear it. So I might have been able to go ahead and Googled it before you managed to type in. Sorry for that. Okay, so failed to load home. Okay, this is the file. Okay, so now we know. So this is the dollar file, dollar underscore. Well, I don't know why do I die here because I don't want. Let's see what happens if I just call warn. Okay, yeah, it's actually better. Okay, so this is and I don't have to search so much for the Okay, well, if I'll run the date command and it's gonna be an interesting experiment to see what do you see. You see it like 8 hours earlier than so there's no delay, right? 8 hours, 10 hours difference. When you type in, I press the date again. Okay, just say now, and then I'll tell you. And I run this again, and then we'll see the whole thing. Okay, so of course when I said this, you wouldn't hear that before you get this. Okay, so this is what I typed the date again when I saw that you wrote it said 53 seconds. So this says that by the time you typed and by that it arrived to me, it was 37. How many is that? Like 37 seconds. Okay, whatever. So maybe there's like a half a minute delay here, or I don't understand. But so maybe the clocks are not even synchronized. So I have no idea how can you check whether the clocks are synchronized. Anyway, so we found. Okay. So isn't your clock I think my clock is synchronized to the world clock whatever. That's what at least I hope. Is there some not in India in No, I'm not running in a virtual machine, in a virtual thing. I'm just running natively on my Linux box. And it says, well, it just says the... Yeah, how can I check it if it's synced to the world clock? Do you know? I thought it's synced, but maybe it's not. Okay. Okay, so NTP is supposed to be, let me see, system CTL status, forgot already, NTP, right? No NTP. Okay, if NTP is not running, then probably yeah, I can try to do this. So now I have two machines, date. I can't switch so fast. 5039 and this says 5036, and it was a little bit earlier than I typed. So these two are synced, more or less. Okay, and this was it. This is in the US. That's the server that runs Code Maven and Perl Maven and all the websites. So I have no idea how I thought that, okay, so maybe there's another service, not NTP, that does this. I don't know. How to sync Ubuntu to word clock. Okay, so how to sync Ubuntu on Ubuntu desktop? You keep your clock synced with internet time servers in Ubuntu, and NTP, that's 10 years ago, and this one is probably also it's 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 almost. Time, date, CTL status. Okay. Time, date, CTL status. Okay. So this is so maybe our clocks are in sync, just the delay that was caused by the videos and the streaming shows it. So what operating system do you run? And can you also and if it's not Linux, then do you have something like this there? And if it's Linux, then this is probably the command to check it. So this says time is, okay, so there's another thing that we can try. Time is. It looks the same, except that it didn't. How can I? Okay. I need to make this as well smaller. And then probably I can do it like this. Okay. So it's working and it says the same. Nice. Okay, so we have a couple of ways to check, and mine is in sync, it seems, and yours is in sync, so, well, we are all in sync. Okay, we don't need this one now, all right. And we will need this, not exactly. Okay, so we are back to this code, and this is what I need here. So instead of find bin, I need the file, but I need the base name of it, or dir name of it. So I need to the web page is displaying. Maybe the web page is actually checking my own clock and showing what is the time on my computer. So I know. So then it says, okay, you're. So if you go to this time, yes, okay, it will say, okay, yours is fine because it's actually checking from your clock. I don't know. So let's go with the warn mode here. But why do you think that it's half a minute ahead of yours is half a minute ahead of mine, whatever? Why do you think so? How did you manage? I don't understand actually how did you measure, because I typed in something and then by the time it arrived, then you typed in. So what you measured is basically how long did it take for my video to arrive to you, and not because you are not or I didn't understand how did you do? Because maybe so. Okay, so I type in something and then I say it immediately. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, you type in something, and at the same time you also type date on your computer. Okay, and then when you hear that I read it out, that what you typed in, then you run date again, and then you will see how long did it take for me to read it and that to get back to you. Okay, or how long did it take from the time you started to type in, which probably immediately shows up here, but maybe even there is a delay. Oh, yes, your video. Okay. I'm watching, and it seems that so you are responding to me. Mark 1 for 4650 now. So 50, it's 46. I have 56, but maybe the minute is okay. The seconds that are, it's 6 seconds later, is not very surprising because it took me some time to say it and to switch to this window and type it in. So that's like at least 3 seconds were. And so that's probably. The fact that the minutes are different, that's strange. That's strange because I have 56. Maybe just you had a typo there. Okay. So that's the delay. Anyway, let's go back to the coding. People will love to watch this video, and there is a number. Oh, there was another person and disappeared now. Oh, unfortunately. Okay, without saying hi. Anyway, I already saw how to do this or read that it can be done. I need to have some kind of an alert when some other people are joining, so I can say hi to them, and they don't. Yeah, so the video goes from my computer up to the Twitch server, and then goes to you, and well, so there is a lag. And good to know that it's about half a minute. Okay, so this is supposed to be working. Now I don't need find bin, but instead of that I need file base name dir name. Yeah, so one thing that I noticed, I started to watch a couple of these live videos, and my feeling is that before watching those, I had the feeling that I need to speak faster to keep the attention of the audience, and I'm not that sure in that anymore. Actually, I feel that maybe I should, partially maybe because of this lag time, I need to speak slower, so I have time to think. That's also a good idea, but also that you will be able to that's gonna be it will be less time by the responses to arrive. I don't know. Anyway, so what I did try now, and let's try to. Okay, so let's first of all I do the warn thing. Oh, all these date commands are here. I need some place where to log all these things that I typed in. So I don't know where to put them. So for now, I just put it here in the comment. So I had the proof command I wanted to run, and it says it looks 1 directory, 2 directory up, and then leap. So probably it's the right place. So if I use the calculator now, it didn't find it. Oh, why? Step definitions 1, features, calculator. Because I didn't add use lib. Okay, I kept the warn instead of having use lib. So maybe, okay, let's hope that this works. And then that was okay. So that was the issue. I forgot to add it. Okay, so now we have the module, and I'm not sure, and I can assign the name of the module here, and I'm almost sure that this won't work, right? We need some. Okay, bare word, of course, bare word. How do I call a function? Oh, there is some magic. I don't know. Yeah, zoom. I don't know if I want really real time. If I need that, if the audience needs that. It seems that hundreds or maybe thousands of programmers are streaming via Twitch, so it's probably a good platform for everyone. Doing it via Zoom, I don't know. Maybe then the registration and the Zoom bombing. So yeah. So no. Okay. So just let me finish this one. So the Zoom bombing is worrying, because if I I mean, even here, someone can join and start sending bad text. I don't know, maybe what else they can send, bad links in the chat. And then there are tools here to ban those people. If I am on Zoom, then I need to manage somehow the registration. So I need to manage the registration, because if I publish it, then there is this what they call Zoom bombing, that someone just joins it and starts sending in bad things. I mean, really bad things that you don't want to have on your on your channel. And I had this, so I not on Zoom. I had it on I published a WhatsApp group that I used for hiking. And in the middle of the hike, I started to receive, not only me, the whole group started to receive pictures that no one wanted to see, like in public, at least. Okay, so that was very unpleasant. I had to shut down that group because, well, it was already published. So yes, Twitch is, it seems to be good. Funny, I just heard that Amazon is now taking over the whole world. Well, Twitch too. So we are in those hands. Okay, and back to the Perl. So no, I don't think that putting an arrow would be good there, because the problem is that I can try. I don't think that that's the issue here. Because it's not a method call. This is just a plain function call for now. If that was an object, then you would be right. But the problem is that what it says earlier here is that it's a bare word. Okay, and there is this other magic thingy that I can I never remember how to actually write it. Perl run convert string function name. What is this sub here? Object method. No, this neither of these. Okay, so first of all, yeah, you're right. I have no idea why I thought that this would even work. So let's convert it into a string. My sub, my sub, my function, let's call it, and that's what we have, and then I call, and here I'm not sure that this will work because it's still a bare word, I think, but can't use string as a subroutine reference, why use strict ref? Okay, so that's the issue, but we can unstrict it. Because we know that we are doing bad things. We know strict refs. Okay, so we are unstrict that for this block. So starting from here till the end of the block, so it's okay. And this should step not allowed bare word refs. Okay, of course. Now it's really just playing with me. You said eval. Oh, okay, I'll try that one as well. What undefined subroutine display, of course. Okay, so now it sort of works. It's in so the display is sub display, and we have, let's say, a string called display which starts with the empty string, and we return it. Okay, to make this thing happy. Okay, so the thing is happy now. Okay, and what you suggested, if I'm not mistaken, is that to do an, let me still make it even happier, make the is call. Okay, so now this is actually comparing to the expected value, and it's still working. Okay, so now let's see what you suggested. I think you suggested something like eval. Did you suggest this? Let me read it. Okay, maybe you can something like eval, and then I don't know. This is also okay. I'm not sure which one I prefer. Well, let's go with this for now. Okay. So if I run, it says everything is fine. So because I don't want to put a leading double colon before the name calculator. I don't know how to do that. And then, I mean, I don't think that. Wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Before I do this, and I wanted to commit my changes. Okay, so it's running now. Okay, tree, everything is there. So let's git status. Okay, git add, git status. Okay, all these files. Git commit -m. Start writing tests for a new calculator. Okay. So I committed it, and so now I can ruin it with experiments. And I lost the calculator. Here is the calculator. Okay, so, well, you have a nice background there. Here. Can it make it smaller? No, that's like the smallest calculator ever I could make. Okay, the variable problem is because the class name has no colons in it. Try to calling like blah blah blah. Okay, adding the leading means you not need the eval. It should work without the bearer string error maybe. Okay, let's try this one. So you say. I mean, we can play with this. I mean, this just needs. I need to put the parentheses somewhere. I can't put it like this, and I can't. This just doesn't. This just like a string compared to a string. So I think I need the arrow there, regardless of the leading double columns or not. So this is that one that we, of course, this is an arrow. Okay, so this is the thing that didn't work, right? Okay, because of the strict refs. And what you said is that I can also do add this, and this should probably work, I think. Okay. Can't use, no, it's still string refs because I'm using a string either with colons or without colons. So what you say is probably working, but okay, maybe I don't know. If you try it and it works for you, then let me know how to do this. But for now, I think I'll just go with the one that we had that was working. Okay, git checkout. So this version that you suggested with the eval, eval. I'm not sure if I prefer this one or the refs one. Okay, what happens if there is an exception here? Die xx. Okay, well, we got a undef, but if we so that at least fails, but we didn't see the exception, right? Because the eval code the exception, so we don't see the exception. So if for some reason we were expecting undef here, okay, then this eval actually is evil because it hides the fact that what we got back was caused by an exception and not just voluntary returning of undef. So probably it's better if I do without the eval and without the strings here and with the no strict, but I can't use this, so I can't use just parentheses here even with no strings. First of all, now we see the die. Okay. No, this is not even that one yet. Okay. Step ran success. Oh, no. Yes, okay, so here's the exception. Okay, and if I remove the exception, then it works almost good. And now it of course complains that we got the string, empty string back, and which is okay because this is what we wanted. So the eval is working, but it's also hiding the exception, any possible exception inside. Okay, it's time. Wow, an hour and 15 minutes, it says. Oh, I need to do all these exercises more frequently because otherwise it hurts. And for you, it's what time is it? You said what time? Like 10 hours ahead of me. I don't remember what you wrote. 1:50. It's like 2 a.m. for you. Oh, that's early, late. Right, so let me try to do this. I mean, for now, I assume, okay, that this is a function. So I call it with colons, not with an arrow. Okay, it's not a method or not a, and that's because if I'm going to call it with a method, with an arrow here. So what you suggested here is to, let me try to do this without all that part. So what you said here is calculator. How do you add the other function? Display. No, this way, sorry. Display. Okay, that's what I think you wrote. I can use, but then Perl will pass, so let's, okay, well, I'll see. Okay, so this works, but the behavior is different. I am almost sure. Okay, myself equal to so now if I warn $self, we get calculator here. Okay, and if I do the way we had it earlier, so this way, then that will be undef. Okay, so if we call the arrow yes, so this is this I think this is what I did here, except that I didn't remove the S calculator, so it's gonna be easier for me to type, but basically this is what I meant here. Okay, so here too, if I have this and I call that one, then we are going to get as a first parameter the name of the class calculator. So this is how object-oriented is done, right? So this is the first parameter. And if here to the display function, for now, for the display function, it doesn't matter because the display function doesn't care about the input. Okay. But with the other, so okay, so with the display function, it doesn't matter because we didn't look at the input. But for these other functions that we are going to have, then it matters whether we pass in an extra parameter at the beginning or not. So I can't call them, I can't pretend to call them as a method if they are actually just functions and they are not expecting that extra parameter. Okay. Well, it's just different behavior. So this arrow construct is for methods, and the columns is for functions. Okay, so the arrow not this one. This one is for the one that we had here. Okay, so this is not even okay. So this arrow is not for methods. Okay, this one is for methods. Okay, it's confusing a little bit. Okay, so let me get back. Okay, so now if I do this one, okay, then you'll see that there is no calculator at the beginning because it was called. And again, for for the display method, it doesn't matter because we disregard that. Okay, so let me just go with this one. Yeah, so this will be once we convert to object oriented. I don't think that what you're writing here is right. So if I write that using the arrow for everything is perfectly okay designer, maybe I should include these things. The arrow design, you call it, is if it's object oriented, and it would be fine. But for now, I'm using a module with functions. Right, that's for object oriented code. What your new and the class name, okay, that's totally fine. But right now I'm writing here code that is just pure function based, without a class, without objects. Okay, so that's why I'm going back to this case. Get status. Okay, get diff. So yeah. Okay, so what you are saying is that I could just tell the user to always use arrow, and I just get rid of the first parameter, and but still use functions. Yeah, I could also always call calculator arrow, so I could do that. Okay, okay. What you're saying is that not that this calculator, that all the methods will call calculators, the name of the calculator. So I won't have an instance. So I won't have a new method, a constructor. I will just call calculator arrow something. I don't remember ever seeing that, but I haven't read that much code. So I don't think, well, maybe I saw, but I'm not comfortable with that for now. So to call everything with an arrow, it gives me the feeling that something like should be object oriented. I don't know. Okay, so now this works, and the git status, and yeah, git add git commit stop using eval that was hiding exceptions. Okay. Yeah, I understand what I think now I understand what you're saying. That there is also the package name is always there, and I will always call calculator arrow. I just don't think I like it. So we can try it later. Okay, let me go with this way, and then we can try it later. Okay, so we are here. Okay, we finished this one. It doesn't do much, but at least it compares. Okay, so object-oriented code has the concept of the static class. I think it's, yeah, you can call methods that aren't on objects. Yeah. I don't know. So for now, it's no strict refs is only needed. So this one is only needed actually because I wanted to put the name of the module into some variable. If I didn't want to do this, so if I if I which is actually doesn't, we don't really need this. So this like right, so this is a little bit making this thing sort of like generic, okay? And it would be actual generic if this name was coming from the given text, okay? But it doesn't need to come from the given text. Okay. So the thing is that I put here the name of the calculator, the name of the module inside this variable, but that's it's trying to make it generic. But if that would be really generic only if we're matching a regular expression here and using that as the name of the calculator. But if we don't do this because we say, okay, this is not some generic test case, then we don't need this, then we don't need this, and then instead of this, I can just call this way, calculator display, okay, and I don't even need the parentheses there. And this works, okay? So maybe it's much better this way because I don't need all this generalization, generic what you with the arrow you don't need the strict refs, right? You're right. But I think now I like this even better because I don't need that whole general thing of this calculator up. It could use, okay, so that could be the use statement, but even that is not, I mean, this is in our case it's an overkill to try to do this with this in the given. So just the given is just there just because we need some text there. Simplify, cool. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, now let's not get bogged down exactly how to solve this because there are multiple ways, and our focus right now is it should be more the how to do the testing, how to do the design thing. To declare everything in a hash, all the subroutines. Yeah, well, I could do that, but I guess. But let's focus on the BDD. So let's do the next one. Okay, scenario: input 1 digit. Okay, the calculator up is the given statement is the same. Okay, and then the when statement is clicked on, so there's a when statement, okay, so there's a when statement, okay, and it looks like this: when clicked on, and this matches a single character, okay, it's not necessarily a digit, it's a single character, okay, and then it does something, and what does it do? It calls the calculator and say clicked and whatever was clicked, okay, which I don't remember how to do it, but we'll find it in a second because it's in the slides, or maybe it's not. It is, okay, so this is how it do it. Oh, it's also here. So this was the match. Okay, so we clicked, okay. Okay, so calculator clicked. Okay, now I need to implement this clicked, not here, in the other file, in 3. No, sorry. In our application, clicked. Okay, so sub click, actually click, let's call it click. Okay, not clicked. Okay, so what we get here is my input. Okay, that's what we get, and then we do with something with this click. And for now, the only thing we need to do is add it to the display. Display dot add the input. That's the only thing we need. So this is when we click. Okay, and this should, I guess this should already work. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, something didn't work. Calculator. Got calculator expected 5. What are we expecting? Okay, clicked on something. That something is in the... Ah, okay. I just fell in this arrow thingy trap now. Okay. Okay. So we were talking so much about using arrows that I started to use them. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so instead of this arrow, I put here the columns. Git status, git diff. So what we changed is we enabled another test case, enabled the when clause, and added the function git add, git check in. Add another test case and another scenario, not test case, scenario, and the click function. Okay. Okay, next one. Input more digits. Okay, what happens now? Okay, got... Oh, okay. So now the problem, okay, so you look, we got 552 and we expected 52, and the problem is that the two scenarios interact with each other. So when we start this, we don't have an empty calculator because the previous one is already there. So that we have the 5 from here, and then we type in 52 here. So I guess what I need to do is that given calculator up, we also need to reset the calculator to the default. Okay, so if this was an object-oriented design, then I would create a new instance of it, and then that would be it. But because there's no because this is a module-based design, so I will need to have a function for it, and then maybe it's gonna be the time to switch to object-oriented design for the calculator itself. So calculator reset, let's say. Okay, so it's basically I need to reset the calculator, and then I can implement this reset function that would sub reset. That would, what it would do, it would put in the display, it would put the default value, which is, let's call it now default here, default, and then I can say default. How do I say constant? We have a constant here, right? So this works now. Use const and this way, right? Let me just check. How do you use can't modify constant item in scalar assignment? Where do I try to this is how it's written? At the end I'll have to read the documentation. Perl doc -f const Perl doc const. Okay, I'll have to read it. Okay. What about just assign empty string or defaults to the calculator? Yeah, but I think it yes, a constant is a function per constant, but use constant and then with an arrow. Okay, yeah, but I don't need to call here the function, so I know that it's a function, but I didn't know what the syntax there, and I hope that this is now the correct syntax, and it's still not, because it's not const, it's called constant. Constant. Yeah, I managed to write a constant. Wonderful. Okay, so I need, so it's a key value pair. Okay. And that you find it, you say that you find writing object oriented from the beginning much simpler. Yeah, probably you're right. I'm usually I'm ambivalent a bit, because I have been working with in a lot of environments where the people who I work with and who will have to maintain the code don't understand object oriented. And now we are talking about Perl, but it doesn't really matter in that another clients. It doesn't really matter. They don't know they in many cases they don't even know. Not many cases. Some of the cases. Okay, whatever. They don't know the language that we are using. Either it's Perl or Python, doesn't really matter. So, and they're not programmers with 24 years of experience. They are people with experience in other fields, maybe not that many years usually, but in other fields, in testing, in manual testing, in networking, in other things, but not in programming. So jumping with them to object-oriented, it might be the best. It might be the right thing. I don't know. I've never. It felt too complex. Maybe it's just me not being comfortable enough with it, but it didn't feel right to teach them object oriented from the beginning with all the interesting things. Even if maybe I should try this once to teach from the beginning object oriented, but without all the fancy stuff of inheritance and what else fancy. I don't know, and see how that works. You might be right that object-oriented is not harder to learn than anything else. I have the feeling that one of the hard things about starting with Java is that the fact that you must learn object-oriented and all the things before you can do anything. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'll have to try it once. I mean, teaching object-oriented. But let's go with this for now. Okay, let's just go with the BDD for now to see how we work this out. Okay, so this works now. Git diff. What we had to do is enable the scenario and also to reset the okay, so git add, git check in, add another scenario, and also add a reset function. Okay. Okay. What next? Next feature. Scenario. Okay. So what happens now? Click, click, clicked, plus it still probably will work. The code that we have now. Okay, it works. Git add, git check on scenario. Okay, so far it works. Now this is going to be the interesting bit, and well, it's actually there are two things. So one of them is to actually do the calculation, and the other one is to check the history. So let me comment out this part for now. Okay, and let me just focus on the first one to finish. Okay, and welcome to the person who just arrived. Hi, please say hi if you're around, if you like. So we know who you are. Git status, git, okay. So I wanted to run proof on this one to see how it fails. And it fails that when I type in the equal sign, it just adds it to the display instead of actually doing the calculation. So let me check this. So this is basically in our code needs to be done. Then when the click arrives, and if the input equals to the equal sign, then and now we are going to be real evil here. So now then the display equals to eval and whatever is in the display, else we just do the add to the input, add the input to the display. Okay, I already see the security problem I have. Yeah, but you're saying that that you don't have to get into object inheritance. You might be right. Okay, I'll have to try it now. I'll try to remember my students and try to figure out. I'll have to think about it. How can I teach that? And I'll have to try it. Okay, but in the meantime, the tests are passing. Okay, git status, git diff. So now I introduced two things. It can calculate and it can ruin your computer, because I'm just using eval on a string that the user just typed in, and even though we sort of hope that the user will type in a calculation, the user can type in anything and we are going to just run eval on it. Okay, so that's not the right thing to do. Git add, git add calculation feature. Okay, and We also have to go back and first, so before I go on, okay, before I go on, let's, before I fix it, let's add another scenario so I won't forget it. When the user clicks something that is, when clicked on S, okay, some other letter, okay, so it's not a digit, okay, only, okay, don't accept letters in the input. Okay, so when I clicked S, then display is still string for now. Okay, I don't give error message, just not let the user type S. Okay, so let's add this this test case, and okay, this fails because we got the S and expected empty string. So clicked if input. Okay, if input is equal, then we behave. Else if. Ooh. How do you write it in Perl? It's horrible. And I start switching languages and I start messing this thing up. I'm not sure I want to have I want to this live coding and then show everyone that I forget the language I've using for like 20 years and I forgot how to write. Okay, so if input equal to yeah, yes, I managed to it. I found it. It has to be digit or a plus sign for now. Okay, that's the single character it has to be, is a digit and a plus sign. And I'm using these and not \d because I don't know if it's in Perl as well, but in Python I know that the \d matches all kind of characters that are not the digits that we are using, the numbers in other I will definitely don't spend time on editing the video. Cutting out the Gabor not knowing what else if is. How to write else if. So let's do this one for now. Okay, so now we wrote a test that at least has some basic input validation, and it's for now it can only accept digits and pluses, so eval is okay. Okay. Git diff git add. What did I do? Git add git check in add test case for input validation. So this is how it would work. Okay, now let me just try to imagine how it would work. We are sitting with the business people. The business people type in these things, and then maybe immediately there, or maybe just later on, someone from the programmers come up. Okay, but what happens if someone types in the letter S? So what happens here really? what happens now if I don't have this and I just press S? It accepts S. Okay, so what if I accept rm-rf and slash? Shall I try this? What do you? I can't type in slash. Oh, it's percentage instead of slash. There's no slash here. I just clicked on what language I am in. English. Oh, interesting. So I pressed the slash on my keyboard and it entered the... Ah, because this... No, it's not percentage. It's this division mark in this calculator. This is like clicking this one. Ah, funny. Anyway, I would probably not want to run this code here because, well, not. What if I say print? So does it have variables, this calculator, or what is the story here? X equals X equal, no. Unknown variable. Okay, so there it has variables, this calculator. So how do you use the variables here? Very interesting. Okay, our calculator won't have variables for now. But, so anyway, it would be like, okay, some programmer maybe comes up with the idea normalizing the division symbols. Yeah, something like this. So you wouldn't, I prefer using explicit classes like 09 and AZ rather than because I have more control and it's self-documenting. Yeah, so for many well, I want rm-rf. You know, rm-f no, but rm-rf would. Okay. Yeah, so I played his just with rm-f or rm-rf in the calculator because I said, okay, just to write something, and I have no idea how it executes this, of course, and I don't even know what language this is written in, and I don't run as root, so but it would still remove all of my home files in my home directory, I guess, as I just run rm-rf, and no, maybe I don't know if I typed in -f or -rf. I meant -rf. Anyway. I was just wondering, what does this do? This calculator do when you type in some letters, but it has some variables. Okay. Okay. What programming language doesn't have \d and \w in their regexes? That's gonna be interesting because that's like, then they are not what many call Perl 5 compatible regular expressions. I know that in Python is \d by default matches every Unicode digit, whether it's in Arabic or I forgot all the others. There are like tens of different sets of digits, and you can pass it a flag to say that it's an ASCII. I even have a slide of this because it's fun. But I wanted to. So I agree with you that it's probably better to write 0 to 9 because then it explicitly says, even if it's longer than saying. Okay, so I get the ANSI regular expression. I've never dealt with them, so that's why I'm asking you if you know which programming language. I'm not saying that it's not exist. I just was a little bit surprised when you wrote it first, and then I was wondering which one. So I will be able to try it and tell all the other people that I meet. So what I would like now here is to parameterize this test, okay? And if I recall, now let me try to do this. This is whatever input, okay, and then we try it with s, and here we put here this input. I think this is how it works. So, and I don't need to do anything. I can run this, and it's not. And why not? No mapping to placeholder. Where is this now? Okay, so I have the example here, and where is this example? So there was this example. I have to say examples, right? So I think that's the only thing I was missing here. Examples, and indentation wise it's under the A. It probably doesn't matter. I don't have it under the A. Let's see if this solves it. Oh, okay, so the indentation doesn't matter, and now we have this. Okay, so some SQL dialects have regular expressions that are not Perl compatible, right? Okay. Okay, good to know. Thanks. That and for everyone who's not reading the comments, and still there is someone, so just say hi, or again someone. I don't know. If you like, if you're around, it says 2, so probably there are another person. Still low on visitor counts, but it's Saturday morning, noon for us, midnight for you, way over midnight. So you said that various SQL engines, for example, SQL servers. Hi, Hulsman, Eric Hulsman, right? Am I right? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Nice to have you here. So what we are doing now, just to Eric. Great. Okay, Hulsman, right? Did I pronounce right, more or less, your name? Great. Nice to have you here, and thanks for accepting my my pull request. That's actually a nice, interesting question, Eric. Do you see this? Can you scroll back and see all the history here? Or you just see what from the time that you arrived. And so you know what we are doing here. I started to write a new example for the calculator, so I can go work through the whole process of starting to write the scenarios first, and then slowly implementing the code behind it, because this is totally the different way than I, as a programmer, usually work when I am also my own customer and when I'm not using BDD. But I guess, and you probably have a little bit more experience, like a lot more experience is BDD than I do. I have 0, so that's not that difficult for anyone. I wonder if this history is kept anywhere, actually, after the video is done, or if I so besides the video recording that I currently don't include the comments in the video. Maybe I should at one point. I mean, it's this layout is not bad. Even if I don't have the calculator, I could add here. Here, where is it? Here. So under the key here, maybe I could add all the chat. And so people will see in the video the chat that was going on. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do, and I just managed to parameterize this test. Yeah, you say that we probably. I'll have to see this if I can see the history of the chat. At least while on the website of Twitch, because I'm also taking the videos and I'm uploading to YouTube, and there you don't have the thing there. So let me try to add here another test case that should fail because, well, because this should fail, and it fails. So hopefully this means that the other test case actually worked. Okay, so now we can add a few other test cases, and I would want specifically A, B, A, C, B. Okay, so it will now, currently the current version of the calculator will disregard will disallow typing the letter C. Also other things like the exclamation mark. Okay, and later on maybe we add the requirement to add the letter C as the clear button, and then we'll have to fix this test. Okay, I don't understand how they are marked to do, but so okay, let's first of all slowly. Okay, so I added this parameterize this test. Okay, git add git check in parameters for the test. Okay, but if now I add another test case, it will just be improve, it will fail. How do I mark it as a to-do? Maybe I should read the documentation, not just ask the author. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish for now anyway. Even though I would really like to work with Eric for some time, but and ask him all kind of questions. I'm really happy that he is here, but it's like 2 hours I have been doing this now, and I also get a little bit tired. So even though it's 1 p.m. right? So after just a little bit afternoon. That's called 1 p.m. I never know these things. Yeah, I guess that should be 1 p.m. And I should go to have a walk and then to have lunch. So I'm going to finish this soon. The only thing I wanted to add here, okay, Eric, so I'll try to... Your time is noon, so you are somewhere in Europe, I guess, or Africa, right? So yeah, okay. I guess it's late for you. 3 a.m. Amsterdam. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I guess I'll finish anyway, and then we'll try to schedule with something with Eric and then do it together. Maybe we can try to do it while we are in a Zoom chat and working together that way, so that Eric and I am on the Zoom chat and all the other people can watch us via Twitch. That's like that's the West Coast, right, Darren? If I'm right, so it's like California also. Yeah, so it's 3 a.m. and 1. That's 10 hours difference, right? So that's the other side of the US. Okay, I'll talk to you about this a little bit later. But let me. No, I got now that we started to talk about it, I suddenly realized that I'm hungry and I want to do. I can't concentrate anymore. And we need this history feature. That's a totally new feature. So let's implement this. Okay, so what happens now? Here we have this test is now failing. No matcher for I in and the history is. Okay, so I need a matcher here. Nice. 2. No. Oh, okay. I started to get tired. Okay, when another thing, right? And there's also a then clause. And then, and what was the text? Sorry, the history is. The history is, and how do I do that? Okay. Yeah, so the idea would be with Zoom is that with some other thing that there are 2 people working on some code, like Eric and myself maybe, and or maybe Eric teaching me this thing. Okay, I'm just coming up ideas. I'm not expecting you to do this. I saw these ideas in another channel, and then the rest of the people are out there and seeing the stream, because I wouldn't do that. Here, you mean this given deck calculator app? Yes, that could be made optional, but I would first like to finish the history. And the history is, and I don't remember how do I do this. I think I have here the examples. Oh no, this is just the... it was something like code, right? Features, step definition, and then, okay, wait a second. And then, do we have in the then clause, so here we have the having entered the following sentence. Having entered. So this is the C data. So I guess we might have as well C data for the then clause, and C data, and this is what we have here, hopefully. No matcher for and the history and the history is. Okay, because I don't need this one. Got 53 expected. Oh. Yeah, so I also do this. What you're writing that you tell that I have people and that I tell them what to do and then they implement it. So it's like it's basically pair programming with the driver navigator. It's not syndrome, but that's what the word I came up with. The style, the driver navigator style, like. So here the expectation, so that's the code was incorrect, so it's not the display history. Okay, history, not history. Okay, I think I'll have to finish this soon because it's not going into the right direction. But I know that I have the expectation here and I have the history, And now I just have to implement the code, right, of history. So I have to have a function called history that returns the history, and I also need a variable called history that is the same default. And also, if we are already here, then I probably have to reset it to default. All that. It wouldn't fail the test if I and then every time we click on equal, the display is equal. So no, it's not. The history gets the display, and then history gets the display, the result again here, hopefully. And then the history also gets a new line. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so what happens now? Now we got 52 plus 1. We don't have the equal sign here. And the whole thing is way longer. So here I also have to, because of the equal sign, I also have to add the equal sign. So I append to the history when I clicked on the equal. That was the sort of the idea here. History plus equal the equal sign, because we got just that. And now it's only the spacing, it doesn't matter, but I don't want to work on the spacing, okay? I don't want to play too much with the spacing. I don't care about these spaces for now. Okay, so let's just expect this and run the feature, and it's still failing. Why is it failing? Okay, because of the new line thing. So expected something with a new line and got so really I have to add the new line here as I thought, because in this expectation the new line was added. Yeah, working. Okay. So right, I think it's okay. Everything is done for now. Git status, git diff. So we also manage the history to some level, to some way of history. It's sort of okay. Git add, git check in. So I changed the requirements because I didn't want the implementation to be too complex and too error prone for now. Okay, later on we can maybe improve put back the requirement to have all those spaces around in the history, and then update this. Okay, update the code accordingly. Also check the history of the commands. Okay, git status. So everything is there, and it's all in my slides. So it's not really. I should split this up at one point, right? I'm going to push this out, so it will be in the repository of the slides. But git remote -v in case you're. And it will be on my slides. not showing up now because it's not included, but it will be. Okay, why not just quote the expected on the single line rather than multi-line quote? It's shorter enough unless you expect the history to be multiple lines. I expect actually the history to be multiple lines, but in any case it was just a good way to try this way of coding. Okay, so I guess if I now try in this editor 37 plus 4 or 5 or whatever, then we have the history looks longer. Okay, so I don't know what the business people expect with this calculator. I have no idea. I'm just a programmer, but yeah, we can play with this. Okay, we can play with this later at another time. Maybe today I'll go continue later in the evening. I'm not sure. Definitely I made nice progress, and thanks a lot for your help. And I'm really happy also with Eric coming on the channel, and I'll try to figure out something else together, because probably that's not too interesting for him to see how I try to figure out the things that are too obvious to him, but maybe we can figure out something interesting. And for now, thank you very much for attending, and hopefully see you soon in a nearby group or stream or something. Bye bye for now.